If you want to talk about controversy, heartbreak, and the kind of decision that leaves an entire fan base stunned in silence, stick with me, because this story from Cleveland might be one of the wildest twists of a season. Imagine a rookie quarterback having the biggest night of his young career, lighting up the field, carrying all the momentum in his hands, only for a single coaching decision to flip everything upside down. This wasn't just another NFL moment. This was the moment that changed the conversation around Kevin Stefanski and Shedeur Sanders forever. The Cleveland Browns' heartbreaking 31-29 loss to the Tennessee Titans in Week 14 became the center of national debate almost instantly. And the target of that spotlight was head coach Kevin Stefanski, whose late-game two-point conversion call didn't just raise eyebrows, it set the entire league on fire. The decision overshadowed what could have been the defining game of rookie quarterback Shedeur Sanders' early career, a performance where he carved Tennessee's defense apart with precision and confidence. But the story didn't stop there, because the real twist came when Stefanski took Sanders off the field in that crucial moment and replaced him with a gadget play that blew up in front of millions watching live. Fans were furious. Analysts called it confusing, unnecessary, even reckless. Social media exploded with questions about the timing, the design, and especially the decision to remove a quarterback who was playing the best football of his career. But while the backlash grew louder and louder, one voice in the NFL world refused to join the crowd. Former NFL linebacker and now prominent analyst Emmanuel Acho stepped forward with a take nobody expected. He didn't just defend Stefanski, he doubled down and said that the play was actually brilliant. Acho jumped onto Twitter and wrote, "Almost everyone is wrong. It was actually a brilliant play design." That immediately grabbed attention, and then he backed it up with a detailed video breakdown that stunned many of the people who were criticizing the Browns' head coach. In his breakdown, he shifted the spotlight away from Stefanski and placed it firmly on running back Quinton Judkins, suggesting that the failure had nothing to do with the play itself and everything to do with the execution. "So let me explain what I think happened on the Browns' two-point play." Acho began laying out each frame of the play, like a professor teaching film study. He explained that Judkins was supposed to read the cornerback in man coverage. If that defender carried his assignment up the field, Judkins keeps the ball and walks into the end zone. If the defender stays home, the pitch becomes an easy touchdown. According to Acho, by the time Judkins noticed that the cornerback wasn't running with his responsibility, his window to pitch was already gone. His body language, his hesitation, even his eye movement, all of it told a story of a player realizing too late what the defense was doing. Acho argued that the play wasn't doomed because of its design, but because Judkins hesitated for a split second in a moment where timing was everything. He insisted that the blockers were in place, the receiver had a clean runway, and if the pitch had come even a heartbeat earlier, fans would be celebrating the creativity of Stefanski instead of tearing him apart. But instead, Judkins found himself stuck in no man's land, holding the ball with nowhere to go, watching the play collapse around him. Acho pointed out something else that many fans forget: these trick concepts almost never get practiced at full speed. That means when a real game moment comes, that split-second timing becomes unpredictable, and hesitation becomes deadly. He said the design was fine, the execution was terrible, and the hindsight judgment on Stefanski was simply part of how football narratives get written. But even though Acho defended the design, critics turned their attention to something different, and arguably something bigger. They questioned why Stefanski pulled Shedeur Sanders out of the game in the first place. Sanders wasn't just playing well, he was exceeding expectations for a fifth-round rookie. He completed 23 of 42 passes for 364 yards, threw 3 touchdowns, only 1 interception, and even added a rushing score. He outplayed Cam Ward, the first overall pick, and he was doing it with confidence that felt years ahead of his age. With the lights bright and the moment massive, Sanders was cooking. And in the eyes of fans, you don't take the ball away from the guy who owns the moment. That's where Stefanski lost the room. Even though he publicly took the blame, even though he tried to shield offensive coordinator Tommy Rees from criticism, the narrative was already spinning out of control. People knew what they saw. Sanders had all the momentum, and momentum is the one thing in football you never mess with. There was no guarantee Sanders would have converted that two-point attempt. Football doesn't deal in guarantees. But there's one truth that fans understand deeply: when your quarterback is on fire, you trust him. You let him take that snap. You let him write the final line of the story he spent 3 hours building. Stefanski didn't do that, and that's why this decision will follow him for a long time. Even through the disappointment, Shedeur stayed poised in his post-game interview. He didn't throw anyone under the bus. He didn't blame the coaches or the moment. His maturity continues to be one of the strongest parts of his early NFL journey. But even that didn't stop the wave of frustration coming from fans who know exactly what they saw, a rookie quarterback having his breakout moment interrupted by a decision that never needed to happen. This game will be talked about for a long time, not just because of the result, but because of what it revealed about Shedeur Sanders, about Kevin Stefanski, and about how one moment can shift the narrative of an entire season.